The scales of the Pacific region have always tipped between PaperX and DRX. One team ascending as the other weighs heavy with expectations. But no matter the shift, they always meet here on the same stage where today PaperX must prove they can rise again.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can do that. I think DRX are right on the cutting edge of the meta right now. They are a very strong team, and they're going to be difficult for PaperX to topple. They've got to turn their form around 180 from what we saw in kickoff, and they're going to be keeping the same roster going into the game today.
Yeah, this isn't a team that's going to feel new in my mind, for DRX at least, but as you say, for PaperX, been a team that's been around for a long time.
Oh yeah, this core squad, we're so familiar since 2023. Basically, after lock-in, we were just talking about, they bombed out of lock-in. You know, they switched Benkai, they brought in something, and then they looked phenomenal. Made it really far through into LA Champs, making it to that grand finals. But ever since then, they've always made it to international events. And feels like last year, but now they finally bombed out, didn't make their first international event, and surely they're looking for their comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can go one of two ways, right? If you don't make that international event, the first way is, you know, it's going to be a big boost to them going, we need to get it fixed, or it can be a crumbling sort of sensation where it's like, oh no, it's all fallen apart. So we'll have to see how it ends up today.
Yeah, well, it's good to see they're not scared, already taking space over towards A lobby. That you got to be a little bit careful, you don't take it too carefully, but yeah, look, that's not what I expected.
Quickly flooding through, right? Break off the smokes, and it's Jing in with the classics as well. They're able to kind of death ball all the way through now, and that is a very open A site.
W Gaming a little bit at its finest, a little bit delayed from the beginning, but you do like to see that they're all holding hands, get that spike plant down, and see what Marco and Free are going to be able to do just in a retake. I mean, it's going to be difficult. Jing, Mind Freak a little bit low.
Well, Paranoia still in his pocket, though, for Jing, so he has a bit of an opportunity, but not quite the info, so just tucked away inside the pocket. Mind Freak possibly holding the angle for information. Right there it is, Jing. Does he swap to the utility? Not quite just yet. Mako still trying to get a little bit more space, but dies to the right click within close range, freeing now. Lost and alone, it's going to be the entire swarm. More information, DRX have already rotated over onto this A site.
Yeah, Devi is in a position to kind of look after that, though, if the trap is broken. But never mind, I say that. He is caught looking the wrong way. Bane finds Forsaken as well, and this is going perfect so far for DRX.
VAR going up against the Omen, of course. So it's Mako just trying to hold down the back lines. PaperX has to now watch out for their backs. They're even getting hit by the flash. A secondary smoke coming through, and it forces Mindfreak to push on. He does get one, but Bane makes it a trade. Jing in for another trade as well. The spike's on the ground. PaperX wants to pick it up. Something dives right in. It's down to the one-on-one. Holds the angle, but something swings! And those fist bumps coming out once again, but here we go back into it, knowing they're up against an anti-eco round. It's just DRX trying to march forward, trying to get at least one weapon away. The spray's coming through, though. Ooh!
Yeah, good fault line. It's a little bit awkward for Flashback in that. Again, just to highlight, this is one of these eco rounds to come through from DRX, of course, with that bonus round not going their way. So it's just about having a bit of a conversation. What can you figure out at the moment? What are PaperX doing around the map? And this time they do change it up. They don't just look to go towards the A site. It's over towards C. Not seeing too much here for DRX.
It's still going to be Hyunmin alone, though, so
enemy remaining.
Easy pickings now. Forsaken swaps over onto the Ghost as well. The first time that we're seeing them hit down this B lane. Breaks the trip from the shadows towards the back.
Don't forget, there's an operator down the sewers as well for Hyunmin, so he can send Flashback away to try and help out with the rest of the squad, but the reposition at the moment, actually, for Jing, he's in the back lines, and they have no idea. Again, Forsaken, Jing, just getting active around the map. That kind of might even be the round in and of itself, Quack.
And that truly has broken a lot of DRX's defensive lines. Mako trying to find something. Will be able to get a double, but something makes it a trade. Bane now flooding back into the site. He is working alongside Hyunmin. But look at how PaperX are positioned. Devi in for the straight, and now looks onto the next. Something with the assistance.
Gonna be a bit of a reset on the back of utility.
Just to continue to poke and prod around the B site for now. There is a trip ahead of Mind Freak, and he will break that as well.
Yeah, no real space forward anywhere from DRX as well. Reposition back towards the C site. You tap on towards your cam for freeing. That's a little bit deep through towards C long. You do have Marco spotting over towards A, but he is by himself. He doesn't need to play here too aggressively, and that's why you lose your smokes, you lose your advantage. And now things start to look a little bit scurrysome around the map. More rotations in towards Garage. You got to re-pick up some information. If you're PaperX here, you might even reconsider using the Rolling Thunder to get in towards a position here, but Hungry is flashback and he falters.
They actually hold back, and there it is. You mentioned the Rolling Thunder, and they could very well be setting up for it right now.
Neural Theft in, that's all the information that you want. Rolling Thunder does go towards the seaside. You got the Armageddon too.
And there it goes. Definitely keeping them trapped in. It does take away Freeing's life. Something in with the next, and Mindfreak.
Together, collective.
Very careful. This is a team that has had perfect games before, but here it comes, the quick execute out. DRX trying to get ahead of things, in with the Hunter's Fury as well, but Mindfreak has managed to seal away with one.
It's the immediate speed up from PaperX though to get in towards the A site. Clear it together in numbers, you know what kind of utility you're up against, you know what weaponry you're up against at the moment. You can set yourselves up for a pretty nice plant, though the Neural Theft comes in from Freeing, so they know where everyone is.
Still though, I mean, ahead of the timing game, PaperX has gotten themselves into position. A couple of sprays, but a couple of trades from DRX out as well. Jing in with Defy. They will manage to block off those sightlines. Sightlines down into A short, but it's being blocked off.
Freeing. He's pushing over towards the C side of things, but flashback, I cursed him. He's been cursed. He's got on the board.
At the same time though, off to the other end of the map, Forsaken in with the operator for the first round. Just holding things down. DRX having the numbers advantage will slow things down.
Yeah, the reclear over towards C as well for PaperX. You do currently see Hyunmin on the site itself. Some time to be bought from all this utility as well, but this is where you rest on the back of what PaperX do best. Explode in towards the site.
Clone, fault line, Paranoia completely blinding Freeing as well. Forsaken gate crashes all the way towards the back and kind of marks Hyunmin's angle. Still though, with a bit of a strafe, he takes down Jing. At least Defy and Something will have each other's backs, and with that, the site completely flooded. Flashback, however, tries to get ahead, deny any spike plants. You will get one. Defy in for the trade with an op. Bane alone against two. And the plant's position a little bit concealed.
Plant goes down as well.
Back into it as well. Holds it down, finds Something.
Oh, does he know?
And it's a low HP Defy.
I think he knows.
It's an up in hand though, but there it is, the shock dart! You said it, he knows it, he gets the round for DRX.
DRX be brought in towards the A lobby, welcomed with open arms, and waltz in towards a trap of PaperX. Do see as well that Forsaken is snuck in towards the garage, Hyunmin being quite cautious of that. You also do have Freeing over towards the back of the plat too, so if it does turn into a bit of a C play from PaperX, it's not going to be too quick of a rotation from the rest of the DRX guys who are at the A site at the moment still. A transition from Bane currently.
And at the same time though, Mako also continuing to push out of A for further information. DRX pretty much has an idea of what PaperX are trying to do, and with that, the angle's being held. I would say quite okay, 10-5.
Well, standard things, but unfortunately for Freeing, going to be the casualty of the bullets.
Yeah, just a couple of shots blindly through the cage, and he does find Something. A kill, that is, not the player.
Kind of passive for PaperX at the moment. Don't mind it. Bit of a garage look after for them. Oh, Fire dispatched off, however. And that's going to be the B site that you want to start to get aggressive on. Though I'm looking at the other members of DRX. How are you going to get Bane in this? How are you going to get Flashback? If you're trying to tap on towards the plant, you're trying to set Hyunmin in for a bit of a sneaky-beaky play, but it's the one-to-one trade. And now you actually have managed to get in towards this A site. Does Forsaken know? It's empty space.
I certainly suspects it, thus not making too much noise as he heads back onto Heaven. Meanwhile, though, the rest of the team just circling back up. They do have the fault line Paranoia combo. That allows Forsaken to at least get one. Still trying to get ahead, take the initiative, deny that spike plant, but Bane will hold his ground. A single tap and forced to hang back and reload. Still, though, audio cues be damned. Something has a flashpoint in his pocket. Looks for the right timing. Senses a bit of a fake. Now slowly creeps up. Bane looks to stick, and there it is, the flash sent through. It doesn't quite blind him though, and Bane! One flashback into the backline, so that's what ultimately cracks open the site. But here comes Forsaken with a bit of an ult. He's looking for information, he's looking to break and force them to disperse. The flash might just do that. He sends out a second one and looks to infiltrate behind enemy lines. Divide and takes initiative off of that scenario and finds one. A tap from Forsaken down to Flashback in a sudden 1-on-2. Goes for the peek and he will take down Forsaken. Could this be the quad? It is! Flashback!
For him, it's just how he plays it at the moment, and the opener is there on a Forsaken. That has to be the call for the team to immediately get over here. He's setting up all the forward utility. It's just Heaven that's going to be a little bit dirty. And now Marco, again, can transition into playing his own little lurk, and we've already seen how destructive that has been so far too.
Very, very much so, Komodo. This could be it. DRX, not only did they win out in timing or the duels, they're winning out in positions as well. And PaperX just have to consistently watch their back. That is nothing too comfortable. You're gonna always feel like someone's right behind you, and as they push on out, it's a choke point. DRX has them under a chokehold, winning out 13-9 as the final score on their own map pick of Haven, where you can get punished. So right now, it's just playing it safe, off angles, in towards the site. Not going to be able to find too much though, and a bit of a salvo being sent through as well. Jing holding on to his currently, but there it goes, allowing for the rest of the team to kind of flood back in. However, that dark smoke, that one way, is blocking so much of it off. As soon as it blooms away, it's going to be Hyunmin now finding the shot back in. Straight in with the Sheriffs, though. Flashback will get gunned down, and here it comes. Bane back in towards a safer spot. Trades for trades, and Freeing will take the next player down. Mindfreak even gunned down from the back. All that's left is just Devi. The spike, not yet planted. 20 seconds left. What?
Yeah, Marco holding out in mid. Very nice timing as well to just recognize that there's a potential flank to come through from PaperX, and at the end of all the damage that is delivered on the A site, Freeing on 2 HP, and Marco still on 100 is what is left for DRX to pretty much continue the flawless run from our first map. But Devi here, 10 seconds off the 0 point, but spotted out.
Yeah, and you gotta imagine Freeing's just playing from a very safe spot. He's holding on to those salvos for sure. So the first obstacle, you gotta break through Devi. It's gotta be Mako. He's still playing around the boxes so much though. A bit of a tag, it's not gonna be enough. Devi needs to push up front, and as he does, he's gonna be exposing himself to more angles. Mako's got this under lock and key.
That are of key importance. What damage can Freeing do to keep PaperX here? And importantly, what information do PaperX find over at the B site? And unfortunately, they started to shift, which meant vulnerability for something. And now look how far forward Freeing is.
That is
20 seconds though, 20 seconds.
Incredible. But yeah, I think they're still good, Komodo. 20 seconds, yes, that might be the case, but Freeing's got all of this locked down. Still okay, looking away, 90 degrees, just around screens. It's a little bit scary. The salvos does buy some time, but DRX still looking for a safe spot to plant. Bane gets it just in the nick of time. PaperX might have the site surrounded, but at the same time, Mako still not detected. Devi will look to launch the assault straight in. Takes that one pick off against Flashback. And at the same time, Forsaken's still alive. No utility though, so he's just gonna have to gun his way through. Takes down Freeing, and all that's left, Bane and Mako all the way towards the back. They have the spike under their sights. Looking to play around that though, but the reload not in his favor. Forsaken will swing, but Mako swings as well. That's a shot, a trade for trade. And down it's just Mindfreak.
A lot of time.
That's exactly what PaperX has to do. Here it comes, quick dashes in, ooh, but instantly gunned down. The entire Korean squad will deny Forsaken any early space. Spike dropped into safe positions as well. The armor getting sent through. Mindfreak being able to hold down the entire B by himself. Hello, that's good. And at the same time now, continuing to push out front. Devi off the null command, unfortunately gunned down. Still kind of ringing through, pulsing away with his ultimate, but his teammate now coming back in for support.
Sniffing things out with the drone as well. Feels like you're not going to be able to get Devi back on up. The trades start to coming out. It's all Mindfreak.
As his head gets revealed as well. Flashback trying to work around it. Still looking to play the objective. The spike will go down. Mindfreak just tries to delay a little bit further with the snake bite. Might be able to gun himself through. He hears the tap at the very least, but not quite finding a position. Still has to watch out for Flashback. There it is, at least the first kill. Nanoswarms instantly popped, and Flashback looks to play around the wall. But Mindfreak, steady as ever, will spot him out. An entire ace in the round being picked up by the Indonesian player. Flipping under their noses every single round. You know, whether it's back onto the other end of the sites. This time though, Forsaken will be able to sneak up onto Nest and get one for free.
Yeah, Freeing down. That's a lot of your scaling utility to sniff out what's around the site down as well. Now you'll just play by the numbers. Doubling up in towards the elbow. When you've got a little bit of lesser equipped players, you know, something only down onto the Sheriff, you need to see a little bit of corners be cut, but you're not really seeing too much from PaperX. An opening kill, and then everyone's just covering a base.
Setup. Just trying to mark for it as well. Off angles all being held. Swaps up over onto the top of pipes. That's Mako down. The next player as well. Forsaken just throwing off crosshair placements with a refract. And Bane trying to stay alive. Spots out Forsaken, but the Salvos continue to bomb away at his position. Forsaken in with a quad. We start to see as well, alongside this refract, right? It takes time for you to travel all the way back to a further back to the position. And with that, DRX then gets the flood in. So at the same time now, even with the toxic screen, even with the setups, is it gonna be enough? DRX gets to plant the spike down on site.
And both teams have the Armageddon at the moment too, so it really comes down to the value that you're going to be able to find behind this.
And off of that now, not just a plant, some ultimates online as well. Jing might have the Armageddon, but Fring has his as well, so they go in towards the back, looking for Fring instead, and just as right, they managed to take him down. Bane now trying to hold back. The Armageddon gets sent through. Not quite finding Bane though, but he does kind of reposition even further in. The clock continues to tick against Paper Rex, but Forsaken makes quick work. Further strays, and he gets another tap. 2 kills already, and now Hyunmin in for another something alongside Jing, and they've spotted every single thing out. Paper Rex bent, but not quite broken. They will get the final round in this first half. Yeah, they just continue to get to orchestrate their movement across the map this way, but with that Hunter Sphere from the previous round, here it comes. Something looking to force DRX to scramble on the A site. Meanwhile, Forsaken straight in with a light speed. Stinger at hand, he closes in the distance. 2 headshots and Mind Freak off on another.
Playing that weapon to a T. Stinger straight in. I'll add on the back of that Hunter's Fury, tagging him up as well, right? Recognizing that you can quickly go in towards that one and materialize an A site control.
From the shadows onto the top of pipes.
Starting to get a little bit of your scaling utility in towards the site, and you are just going to waylay ult right on in. As I said, cuts off half of the site.
Behind you. Well, that's Forsaken, but Bane, okay, he just leaves it to his teammates. Forsaken continuing to get further space, trusting his teammates to watch his back. Bane does go down. Divine now continuing with a push in towards back site. 2 kills to his belt. And with DRX playing in towards defensive positions, Forsaken gets to go all the way up front. Ooh, tag down to 1 HP by Mako, though. Still, the spike at least goes down. Hyunmin in with the blades, looking for something, but nothing found.
Got to get in there. Got to get set up somehow to try and work these blades as well.
Oh, and look at this. All that happens at the same time. Mind Freak once again back into mid to try to set up something towards the back. Still, though, bit of a shock dart through and in with low HP. It's going to be a couple of kills coming back in, back and forth, all around yellow. Fring tries to work around the position, but it's not going to be enough as Paper Rex has the entire thing completely surrounded.
Be a very fast flank available actually towards this B side here.
Yeah, very quickly. Still though, Paper Rex controlling down mid. It does work out for them so far. Forsaken continuing onward with that refract. Does get further information, but look at this. Bane all the way down mid, down A. He's able to take away at least 2. The Armageddon now gets sent through.
Yeah, stalling for time at the moment to afford a bit of rotations and re-clearing in towards mid if there was anybody else there. Now you got a player advantage as DRX as well.
Okay, a bit of a stun, but nothing quite found. Jing at least disperses the positioning, and on with that, a bit of an Armageddon set through as well. Forsaken now off of the initial ult, will be able to find another player playing all around the bottom though. It's gonna be Mako working alongside Hyunmin, but still!
He gathered over at the B side and setting yourselves up for a bit of a hit here. Null command on in, remove any abilities of DRX and try to set up for a flank that is absolutely red at the moment from Jing.
That is exactly what Paper Rex needs. Now a little bit more control. Still though, those pistols! Flashback! A couple of headshots through. Not quite, and it's gonna be Paper Rex still. At the very least, Paper Rex has managed to kind of avoid that for now. Looking for that mid-round play down, well, mid lane. They do spot a player out though, and Forsaken looking for the opportunity to possibly set the ultimate, but not quite yet, as DRX have all of these positions locked down, especially up by upper, especially up by kitchen now. Forsaken looking to push on through. Time is of the essence, but at the same time, DRX, they might not have best guns, but they're still holding a lot of these positions. Paper X, Forsaken, trying to break on through. There's the ult, finally gets popped. 10 seconds remaining though. Where is the spike? Forsaken now gets into safety. Finally getting the bomb now down, delivered through. Bane though,
I know he's stuck.
Quick and through, and he's found Mind Freak. Mako trying to work along the position, plays around the safe angle. Quick strays back and forth, but Forsaken, he actually finds it. down to just Bane. But where could he be? Oh! A little bit wider than before! And Forsaken finds the headshot, a quad kill in the round. Now spotted out. Safer play coming out from PaperX.
All that utility just dumped on towards him, and he hasn't been able to get out of yellow, but somehow he's able to find it whilst hindered. He needs assistance from his teammate, but he's just going to do it all himself. Traded eventually in a 3 versus 3.
He pulled out the blades, but yeah, unfortunately gunned down. Still though, up around yellow. Can PaperX find enough footing, enough space to get the spike down? Not quite, because they gotta imagine DRX already have rotated over.
Marco's been holding on to this Viper's pit for quite a while as well, so you might look to see him use it this round if they do need.
Yeah, PaperX possibly trying to bait it out, but still off the tap. Jing up around yellow does spot out one of these players. That's gonna be Bane. At the same time, given how the map is playing out, it's gonna be Mindfreak slowly creeping up all the way out tube. DRX has no earthly idea. Mako, though, tries to play the position, but it's not going to be enough. Jing still up around yellow. It's going to be the kill. It's going to be the final score, 13-10. Back. A little bit of rubble, also a little bit of pillars as well.
Yeah, well, one thing right now is just the jewels at the front of the B site, and there's a lot of PaperX members here at the moment, and they are going to successfully win that one.
I know, a big old flash as well, Komodo, and that's going to be now Freeing trying to hang back.
Yeah, but look at what Flashback's able to do. Find some space over at the side of rubble. Meanwhile, Freeing is going to dodge out that drone too, so does that give you a false sense of security? Repositions around the map currently for PaperX, more towards the C side of things, and with that damage done in towards the breakable door, that's gotta let you know that you gotta get away from this A side, or rather get over towards it.
All quick and heavy-handed as well. You know, trade protocols right there outside of the dark cover on towards C, and that leaves, you know, numbers disadvantage for DRX. Even though Flashback has gotten in towards the back of A side, especially towards drop, actually into a deep position like that, do you reckon that they might be able to do something against PaperX?
It's a 2 versus 4. You've got to get a little bit aggressive in this one to try and find some advantage or equalization, which is why Flashback goes up there to try and find the kills. Good for one, but spotting info on the rest means that for Marco, this has to be a big clutch.
Has done it before. Starts out with a bit of a paranoia to flush them into his own smoke. Look at that. Right click through. And now just 2 players on the other end. Ooh, a good little flick, but Jing gets his own as well.
Rex trying to equalize, and they find the opening kill.
Yeah, quick in with the Outlaw and taken away from Flashback. So just a bit of information. The smoke's out to control A as well, but with that, DRX are keeping some of the PaperX players closer towards the A site. Now they start to extend their legs closer towards C.
Information secured as well, that there's still players lurking around rubble, and you kind of have to give this maybe a little bit of respect. Freeing using both of these cages too. You still have Jing playing on top of rubble. You know, generally it'll be cleared out from some utility from Bane, but they're looking to renegotiate the situation here at the moment. Spreading around towards front of pillars. Forsaken's just playing with fire at the moment, willing his head to fall off.
Or at least just helping to conceal Jing's positioning. So in with that, you know, forcing DRX to trade util for util. The paranoia got sent through as well. Refract recalled by Forsaken in towards a safer spot. But here we go, a nightfall out from Bane. And at the same time, he's just lurking, hovering around the B site. He does spot one player out, and that's going to be the Vi that falls. And then DRX to try to aggress in towards the A position, but that's where they get gunned down.
Up and dirty with a judge as well is going to be a scary thing.
Yeah, it forces you to just spend a bit of utility or something, anything possible, just to reclaim a bit more space. So PaperX, that's what they're looking for right now. Hence, a couple players up around Mount. DRX knows that though, and Freeing just marks their backs. DRX continues to hold them further off, and now it's going to be Mako blocking off Waterfall as well. Even with the ultimates, PaperX can't quite get in position until Forsaken finds this one frag off the other side of the doors. However, Flashback has snuck on through as well. A bit of a shot with the Sheriff. Showstopper in at the hands of Hyunmin, and now Jing comes back in. Time not on PaperX's side, and Flashback just plays it safe, hangs away from the shadows. For now, we can say for sure at least DRX playing somewhat default. The smoke's outside of A, and PaperX instantly into C. Forsaken trying to throw off some crosshairs with that refract and the dash as well. And it allows for Divide to actually sneak on through. Forsaken double backing in off of that little smoke, and that's 3 kills already for PaperX.
Yeah, nicely done to open up this seaside as well. And I feel a little bit hard done by for the DRX members there because they're just on the ledges and it moves them up just ever so slightly and they have to readjust their aim and they're not able to in the middle of the fight. But this is looking to be a sensational pistol to come out from Paper X. It's going to be flawless at the end of it. And this is what I'm talking about. Util combos to come on through as well. But what affords you a difference is Waylay being able to get in front of it. And then when you do get a little bit overwhelmed, you can refract out. Meanwhile, the rest of your team, they get in front of this utility because it expires as well and they can just start to scale up and play to the better weaponry here, Quack.
Yeah, a bit of positions being spotted out as well, thanks to the earlier utility being dropped. But what? Oh my goodness, the classics! They're still finding the shots. Paper X at least getting to stabilize with rifles of their own, marking the back as well.
For online, you can shuffle weaponry up as well and maybe steal away a gun from Paper X if they do decide to end things here in this B site.
Okay, fault line in along with light speed dashes. And it just baits that showstopper out from Hyunmin. So it's not going to be able to fire that off into anything effective, possibly. And that's the effectiveness of the Waylay. Still, though, does it open a door up for Paper X into a site?
Information on the little shoulder spot. Got to call for your teammates to start to get some rotations over because these pistols, I mean, you need to be in close proximity with crossfires to do damage.
And with that, the flash and the execute now falling through. Forsaken, though, off alongside the smokes. He's able to find 3, but Hyunmin finds his own as well. The Phantom picked up, and that's going to be Mind Freak and Defy.
That wall over towards A. If you're not seeing anything too forward from DRX there, but speaking of forward, Paper X straight up through pillars in towards the front of B, so they've got some options to go for a bit of a C split if they want to quite nicely. They can always pivot back towards A if they want because of the lurk that'll come in from Mind Freak, but you're ulting in towards this C side at the moment, spotting some information if you can. Oh, Refract's timing is actually out, so Forsaken is stuck here, has to hold it through as Hyunmin falls.
Yeah, he did throw out the stun, does find Freeing, and there it is, into the B side as well, as the ult does its job of throwing a wrench in the plans of how DRX wanted to operate across the round. It's just Mako now. Spots out towards the back though, and that's Forsaken gone. Smoke back in. He goes onto a bit of a tap. Plays around the edge. The snake bite, not quite burning at his feet.
Yeah.
Goes for the reload though, and that's the second ultimate being baited out from Paper X. Mako, I think he's done his job. Whether or not he wins the round, he's gotten effective utility away from Paper X.
Oh,
now just looking for a possible kill or 2. And there it is, the first one. Salvo off.
Fuse, get the remaining kills, and that's exactly what worked wonders for DRX. Now, 5 rounds difference. You do have a bit of a build-up for Paper X to go at another round here, of course. And they are looking to set themselves up for quite the quick C play. Ooh, that's a missed Poison Cloud high in the sky.
Okay, quick and fast into the site at least, but look at this site. I mean, Forsaken couldn't see a single thing on his screen. Everything all blocked off. Now something on a bit of lurk, spotted out by Hyunmin as well. The site being reclaimed by DRX as Mako picks up the double. Looks to hold the position outside the door, in with a showstopper as well, and an unsuspecting Defy gets blown up. Final score on the map, 13-7. Final score in the series, 2-1 in favor of DRX.
Yeah, the Pacific Princes from kickoff here, continuing with some victory.